Right, so thank you for staying with us. Now let's get into the business, but you can share your comment via SMS, WhatsApp, as well as the social media handle, Bullet TV Ga on Facebook, as we are streaming there. So on SMS and WhatsApp, this number you can send us your comment on 055 85 13825. 055 85 13825. For the last time, 055 85 13825. You can share your SMS, comment, message, and also maybe probably WhatsApp if you also want to pass your comment there. Now, let's get into the business. As I told you, last week we started this analysis. We are looking at Goldbod issues and Bank of Ghana, IMF, the minority, and other people. So there is a conspiracy, and yeah, people were making some claims and allegations concerning the operation of the Goldbod. Specifically, losses that they think they have incurred along as the institution Goldbod is doing its operations. Now they are citing the International Monetary Fund. They have reports which they claim that the report contains evidence which shows Goldbod is not giving profit to the state, but rather losing a lot of things. 22 billion Ghana cedis, 1.7 billion US dollars. So we did an analysis and we look at Goldbod, some of their functions. I'll run through what we did last week, and then we get to Bank of Ghana. So this is the report, as I told you, the IMF report. So let's see what we did last week. As I told you, last week we just told you that for gold exports, Ghana, we are on number 6, aside China, Russia, Australia, United States, Canada. In terms of the world's top gold producers in the world, Ghana is on the 6th position, meaning we are doing well in terms of producing or exporting gold to the international market. So Ghana is among the top countries producing gold to the world. Now, in terms of our earning, we did a little analysis, and we got to know that even in 2020, we got 6.7 billion US dollars from exporting gold. In 2021, we had 5 billion, so we dropped from the previous year, which is 2020, and 2022 we got to 6.6 billion US dollars. So there's an increment from the previous year, which is 2021. In 2023 we had 7.6 billion dollars, and 2024 11.64 billion US dollars. And in 2025 it increased sharply to 20 billion US dollars. So this is what the country will earn from the export of cocoa. The gold to the international markets. And we are saying that basically, if you even check the trend analysis here, you can clearly see that it's, with the exception of 2021, where we dropped, 2022, 2023, 2024, we saw an increment of every year. So not necessarily that the 2025, which was in the hands of the newly government, they manipulated the system or they did better, but you can clearly see that it started increasing from 2022, 2023, and 2024. So we have done well. We are earning something as a country for exporting gold. And we also told you that in terms of Goldbod, let's check analysis, one or two things about the Goldbod. We told you that for non-tax revenue, what the Goldbod is earning without the taxation part. So government, it is giving government 970.7 million Ghana cedis. So this is what Goldbod gave to the country or give to the government in 2025. Now, in terms of operating expenditure, the cost of operation, what its expenses, let me put it like that, its expenses, it was in 109.58 million Ghana cedis. So the operating expenditure in 2025 was 100 million Ghana cedis. Now we have operational surplus. So operational surplus talks about your expenditure and your profit. So if you do the subtraction and others, you may get a surplus, which is more than, let me say, bonus or benefits that you have gotten as an institution, as a person. And the Goldbod gave the country an amount of 909.58 9.7 million Ghana cedis. Others also here. Goldbod also reported that 9.5 billion Ghana cedis as its total assets. So everything that the institution has is cumulatively 9.5 billion Ghana cedis. So if you sell their laptops, their vehicles, all the equipment that they are using, and everything, the Goldbod is having 9 billion as at December 2025. Its reports clearly state so. And also for the cash and cash equivalents, it's talking about its soft money and also the physical cash, like the paper that I'm holding. If you add everything together, Goldbod is having 8 billion Ghana cedis there. And also we have the trade payable. The trade payable is also talking about them owing some people. Maybe they bought the gold, they have not paid those people or those institutions. So they were owing 3.8 billion Ghana cedis. So they needed to give this amount to people. So basically we said that Goldbod is not running on losses. If you check its financial cost, it will be zero. There's nothing to say that Goldbod is running on losses against what the government gave to the office somewhere January or February 2025. During its inception, the government allocated an amount of 4.5 billion Ghana cedis to help the Goldbod to function. So if you add what the government gave to them plus the surplus that I told you, which is 909.7 million Ghana cedis, then there's a surplus. Overall, the Goldbod is having an amount of 5 billion plus in their coffers. So it's not a losing company. It's not a company running on losses. So you can clearly attribute the so-called IMF loss to the Goldbod based on its reports. Now, Goldbod did not make any operating loss in 2025, as I told you. So the surplus, which is 909, if you add it to what the government gave to them to operate, then basically they have over 5 billion in their coffers. Now, let's continue to see some of the losses that we have done as a country. 2022, we've recorded 0.07, which is somewhere over 200 million US dollars. So if you translate into billion, you get 0.07 billion loss that we made as a country in 2022. And also in 2023, we made a loss of 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. And 2024, we also made a loss over 4 billion Ghana cedis in terms of dealing with gold and others. In total, we have made a loss from 2020 to 2024, at least 5 billion Ghana cedis that we have made as a country. So it's not a Goldbod loss that we need to talk about. Now, this brought us to today's objective, what we need to look at. So they are citing the International Monetary Fund. They have reports, and as I told you, this is the report. This is what the IMF said about our dealings with gold and others. So it is being titled Lessons from Bank of Ghana's Domestic Gold Purchase Program. So clearly you can see what is being written here. Lessons from the Bank of Ghana's Domestic Gold Purchase Program. It is not lessons from the Goldbod Domestic Gold Purchase Program. There's a subject matter here, and the subject within this sentence is Bank of Ghana, which plays a crucial role in here. So this is August 2026. You can see the date here, August 2026. Now let's see what the report really entails. So this is the cover page of the report. So International Monetary Fund is here, August 2026, and here we're reflecting 2025, what happened. So they were given a report in 2025. And clearly they made some comments in here. Now, so the preface of the report says that, let's read it together. If you look at after the cover page, it has this here. It says that yes, IMF selected issues paper are prepared by IMF staff. So you can see where we have highlighted with the yellow color. It says that IMF selected issues papers are prepared by IMF staff as background documentation for periodic consultations with member countries. It is based on the information available at the time it was completed on July 10, 2026. This paper is also published separately as IMF Country Report number then the number is here. So this is an original copy, original document coming from IMF, and it says that this document is being prepared by IMF staff, meaning not staff from government of Ghana or parliament or maybe judiciary or civil servants or whoever. No, this document is being prepared by IMF, so no one has some hands in it. It's an IMF document. Now let's look at the abstract. The abstract says a lot of things here. It says that this paper examines the legacy of the Bank of Ghana's domestic gold purchase program, which helped formalize artisanal gold exports, rebuild reserves, and support foreign exchange market stabilization during Ghana's debt crisis. So it says that Ghana did this. Bank of Ghana went into a gold dealing, which is called the Ghana's Domestic Gold Purchase Program, the GDC, the GPP, or you can also make it DGPP, which is the Domestic Gold Purchase Program. So this is the act of Bank of Ghana to purchase gold and also to do whatever they want to do. And if you look at the report, it's clearly stated in here that due to this thing that they did, this initiative or this policy that the Bank of Ghana implemented, it helped the country, one, to formalize the artisanal gold export. So the artisanal is talking about the small-scale mining. It helps so that we can able to identify illegal mining, miners and others, and also rebuild reserves. We need to put some gold in our coffers so that we can later sell it to help the country. Support foreign exchange. So in a situation where dollar is having upper hand over the cedi, we need to support the local currency, which is cedi. We need to help it. And so for us to do that, we need gold, a reserve. And before you can get a reserve, you need to purchase gold. And that's exactly what Bank of Ghana did. So to help the foreign exchange market and also stabilization Ghana's debt crisis. So you can remember somewhere 2021, 2022, inflation went on high. The economy was nearly collapsing. Others are saying collapsing, but it was nearly collapsing. And it's because of the DGPP, which helped the country to sustain. So in 2022, inflation was 54%, and it dropped to 23% somewhere 2023, 2024, where we started picking it up. It's because of this program. It helped the economy. So this is what we did. And it's continued to say that the program scaled rapidly, making gold-related flows central to reserve accumulation, finances sales, but also generated sizable losses for the Bank of Ghana, not for Goldbod. It said for the Bank of Ghana, and expose quasi-fiscal risk. So the quasi-fiscal risk is talking about you spending more than your budget. So the Bank of Ghana has a budget that maybe for 2025, this is the amount of money that we want to spend. But because of this program, they spent more than what they said they want to spend. That's what we call the quasi-fiscal risk. And with operation referred to Goldbod, future gold sector policy should focus on reducing operational costs, strengthening transparency, and others are also here. Now let's get into the other one to see. Now, so aside this one also, yes, this one talks about the main thing. So it also has some description that you can also talk about. And I think we have done with the first one. Let's clearly see let's try to read the top one and see what it's made some things here. It says that this selected issue paper addresses the legacy of the Bank of Ghana's, that's the BOG, Domestic Gold Purchase Program, DGPP, which was announced in 2021 and mostly phased out by end June 2026. So it's a 5-year program. It started in 2021, of which then President Akufo-Addo was in the office. So it wasn't the Mahama-led administration. So it started in 2021, and it's supposed to end last month or last 2 months, which is June 2026. So it's a 5-year program that is started. It says that this paper examined how the DG papers was instrumental in exporting over $10 billion US as 9.5% of the gross domestic product of the country in artisanal gold in 2025 alone. The rapid expansion of the DGPP coincided and arguably contributed to the remarkable economic stabilization, but also large losses, which is 1.7 billion Ghana cedis. So it is this program which led to the loss of the 1.7 billion that we are talking about. So the losses that we made in 2025, the 1.7 billion, of which if you the minority were saying 22 billion Ghana cedis, and some people were not understanding. So the 22 is coming from, if you multiply the 1.7 billion by 13 Ghana cedis, which is the exchange rate of 2025, then at the time where the losses were being made, if you multiply, you obviously get 22 billion Ghana cedis. So it's the same. It's either you just say 1.7 billion US dollars or 22 billion Ghana cedis. So it's just by multiplying the billions to the currency of the country, which is the cedi. Lessons from the GDP, and as I just told you. Now let's look at gold production in Ghana. So Ghana has become the dominant driver of Ghana's external position. If you look at this figure here, it shows you some of the things that we use to export. In fact, we have services and other things here. If you look at the zero, Ghana, we are good in terms of exporting gold and other materials. So because we are talking about gold, let's concentrate on gold. So gold here is what we are really exporting. If you look at the diagram, 2021 was just small amount of gold that we sent it outside. And 2023, 2022, 2024, there's a bit increment. And 2025, if you look at the yellow, it clearly shows that there was an increment of the gold that we exported and the amount of money that we got. So the precious metal has long been the country's most important export, but the sharp increase in gold prices, coupled with the reduction in smuggling and also an increase in production, has meant that gold now accounts for more than half of the total export from just a fifth in 2021. The corresponding surge in its gold export value led to the drastic improvement in Ghana's current account balance, rapid exchange rate appreciation, and improved debt sustainability. So this is what the gold export is doing for the country. So it's not about we just exporting the thing. It is also helping the country in terms of stabilizing the economy and also fighting against the external currencies, which is suppressing the local currency cedi. Now, you can see some highlighted here. If you go to the down there or the bottom, I have used a yellow color to highlight something. It says that the ASGM, which is the artisanal small-scale mining sector, covers a spectrum of smaller firms, of individuals, licenses, and some informal sectors or illegal miners. So it is also saying that when even if we talk about the artisanal, it also comprises the illegal miners, of which we need to look into it as a country. So when we talk about, some people are saying the Goldbod is buying from illegal miners. Of course, it's clearly stated here. It's a process. We need to find a solution to that. And this is what I just told you. I've talked about this, the scale of Ghana's destiny. Let's look at the small here where I've highlighted the 0.5. It says the smuggling of the artisanal small-scale mining production has been a critical problem in Ghana. The smuggling of this small-scale gold mining outside of Ghana is estimated at 229 tons of gold worth 11.4 billion US dollars, which are missing from official trade data between 2019 and 2024. In 2023, the discrepancy between exports reported by Ghana and imports reported by the United States, Arabs, and others. So the smuggling is also affecting the country here. So we lost an amount of 11 billion in 2020 from 2019 to 2024. But no one is talking about it. It's true smuggling. It's true smuggling. That's why the government thought of it that we need to get a Goldbod to be the only institution to sell gold or to export gold to the international market. So at that particular time, everybody can go to the international markets, of which they are using several means to do that. Now, it also talks about now let's try to understand one or two about the program. So the DGPP was introduced in the context of the debt crisis. So it's because of the debts that we're embedded with as a country. That's why we set up this particular program to help the country to purchase gold and others, to stabilize the cedi and also for reserves and others. So we can clearly see what is being here. Yes, let's go back. So if you look at, there's something important here. I think we can look at it, or probably I'll get to open it. It talks about Goldbod, why Goldbod has been in the news so far, but I think I will get it in the subsequent slide for you. But before then, let's see the operation of the DGPP. If you look at what the diagram that I have here, we have the gold mining, the ASM, which is artisanal mining. So they will just bring it to the intermediaries, the aggregators, for them to verify and others. And this is where the Goldbod came into existence, to be like the assayer or the aggregators to verify whether it is gold and buy the gold, refine the gold, export it outside. So the Goldbod came in. Now, if without the Goldbod, the aggregators will send the thing to Bank of Ghana, and Bank of Ghana will export to the, you can see the export here. Now, when it comes to the exports, it goes to the top, which is the oil. That's the gold for oil. So we use the gold to purchase oil. So that's the gold for oil. Now, it also comes down here for the refinery and also for foreign exchange. Then it's the process continues just like that. So, but Goldbod came in just to help all this system. Now, the Goldbod is now taking the power of the Bank of Ghana of purchasing gold. So the power of the Bank of Ghana of purchasing gold through the domestic gold purchasing program, which is the DGPP that we are talking about, that is in the hands of the Bank of Ghana. Now, Goldbod has taken such power July this year. So 2025, then when the operation of the DGPP was in session, it was through the Bank of Ghana, which was facilitating such program, not Goldbod. So you can't attribute the losses, which is the 1.7 billion US dollars, to Goldbod, because Goldbod just took over the power of Bank of Ghana to purchase gold and export gold just this year. Now let's see the other one also here. So there's something here that we have also highlighted. The DGPP operation have generated significant losses for the Bank of Ghana. So we need to understand, for the Bank of Ghana, not for the Goldbod or whoever. It says for the Bank of Ghana, not Goldbod. So you can't attribute the 1.7 billion to Goldbod, because at that particular time, there was no Goldbod facilitating this program. This program was then supervised by the Bank of Ghana. Losses in 2024 were equivalent to almost 400 million Ghana cedis. So this is not the first time that we are making some losses. 2024, we made some losses. I told you, earlier slide, I told you that we have been making some losses in terms of exporting goods and others. So why this one become news and a whole lot in the country? So it says something here. In 2025, the significant scaling up of the DGPP operation led to the losses of over 1 billion US dollars. So for us to get more gold reserves, for us to implement a lot of policies, for us to stabilize the cedi, for us to make the cedi become stronger against the other currencies, we need more gold. We need more gold. That's why the government needs to scale up, increase the volume of buying gold, or the ability of buying gold and exporting them. So it's made the country by losing 1.7 billion, and this is not Goldbod issue. And it continued by saying it here, and I can see the trend here, how it has been in terms of the losses of the country over the years. So the prospect for the DGPP says that the GDPP activities will be fully transferred to the Goldbod. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. So the DGPP activities will be fully transferred to the Goldbod as of July 1st, 2026. Clearly stated in the report that they were referring. So if we go to which page, I would have gotten the page here for you. I think page 10 or so. It's clearly stated in here that the DGPP activities will be fully transferred to the Goldbod as of July 2026, not 2025. So you can't attribute 2025 losses to Goldbod. It is logic. It is logic. So this is what actually happened, and that we can report on that. So responsible source sourcing should be a central pillar for Goldbod's operational framework. Goldbod has committed to align its gold sourcing practices with internationally recognized standards, including the OECD due intelligence guidance and others here. So there's IMF is saying that the activities of Goldbod has contributed a lot, and they follow the international laws and principles. It's not like they are engaging in illegal mining and others, or maybe they are just making losses just like that. So basically what we are saying tonight is that per the IMF report, which I just told you, you cannot attribute the 1.7 billion US dollars or the 22 billion Ghana cedis to Goldbod, because Goldbod has not incurred any losses. It is Bank of Ghana. Do not let anyone deceive you. Do not let anyone deceive you. The report, according to IMF, it is only Bank of Ghana, not Goldbod, made such losses. The 1.7 billion Ghana cedis, 1.7 billion US dollars or 22 billion Ghana cedis, not Goldbod losses, but Bank of Ghana losses. So this comes to the end of the IMF issue. We are done with it. We are done with it. So we are no more going back to it. So just know that. Now there's another issue that I also told you. Let me quickly get that one and go through before I will open the phone lines for you to also share your views and your voices with us. Goldbod issue is gone. Now let's see another important issue also here, which is the Ghana Statistical Service also has come up with some insightful reports. We need to go through and see what the reports equally say. Yes, so you can see the report here. You can see the reports on my screen here and also in my hand. It is here. It says that the governance series with 3, the fact sheet. So this is here clearly the fact sheet. The fact sheet. So this coming from the Ghana Statistical Service. So let's quickly look at what it says. It says that the Ghana Statistical Service, the GSS, implemented the governance series, a nationwide panel survey designed to generate regular and reliable data on citizens' experiences of bribery and perceptions of inclusive and responsive governance in Ghana, in line with Sustainable Development Goal SDG 16. So it is saying that it's to help the country, we need to periodically, as time goes on, conduct research or survey to know what is happening within the country. And they do a lot: unemployment, governance, acceptance, and a whole lot of things, including the census, the population census. Now, they also come up with this survey, which says that, are we into bribery and corruption? So there's a hypothesis. A lot of people made some claims, allegations. Ghana for semi, yeah, akron for, yeah, bribe, nuclear, kind of simple. Catastrophe for year, yes, catastrophe for year, Sana Ghana, yeah. So meaning we are really corrupt people. So is that the case? So you need to test the hypothesis or the claim of which the GSS did it. Now let's go into it and see some of their findings that they got. Now they sampled Ghanaians, over 9 million Ghanaians. You know, we are 33. And they sample over 9 million. So we have wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3. You know, in a year, they divide the year into 3. So the first quarter, second quarter, and the third quarter. Each quarter contains 4 months. So they made a comparison of the wave 2 and the wave 3. And for the wave 2, they interviewed people of 6.8 million, making 74% of the total people that they are supposed to, people that they sampled them. Yes, let me put it like that. They sampled them. Now, for 2020, for the wave 3, which was towards ending of December 2025, they also interviewed 6.4 million Ghanaians, making 69.6%. So these people are people, population who had contact with the public officials. So they have, one way or the other, contacted public officials. So they are just an ordinary citizens. They don't have power. They are just like you and I. But one way or the other, we have called an MP. We have called maybe state CEO or any other person that we know in the government or public institution or whatever. So have you made any contact with those people, visiting them in their office, meeting them in a meeting, town hall meeting or whatever, engaging them So they got 6.8 million in the wave 2 and 6.4 for the wave 3. Now let's see the breakdown here. They said that 1.3 million Ghanaians, persons who gave gifts. So among the people they interviewed, which is 6.4, 1.3 of them says that they gave gifts, and we'll be understanding that kind of gift that they are talking about. They gave gifts to the people that they contacted. So you can see here, for men, we have 1 million. For men, 76.7% of the total 1.3 million. And women, we have 304,000, making 23.3%. Also giving gifts to people. And also for other one also here, persons who gave gifts. We have the 1.3 million in the wave 3. And we have the 334 for wave 3 also for women. So you can clearly see that for wave 3 there was an increment of people who gave gifts to people. The gifts that we are talking about is bribe. Let me be specific here, bribe. So in wave 2, men who gave bribe to public people, or let me say those in government, they were 1 million. So they had a contact with them, they gave them some gifts. And women were 304,000. So overall, in wave 2, it was 1.3. But in wave 3, men increased from 1 million to 1.3 million. And women increased from 304,000 to 334,000. So making there's an increment in here. So that's a bit there. Now, population who gave gift to a public officials by region. Now let's go to regions and see. Probably, I don't know which region you are watching me, and can see where you also fall. For wave 2, for example, national, it was 14.3%. For wave 3, it increased to 25.9%. Now, if you look at Upper West region, in wave 2, people who gave bribes or gifts to public officials were 26.4% in wave 2. Now, if we come to wave 3, it increased from 26.4 to 26.5. So there was a percentage of 0.001 there. Now, there's an increment also here in the Savannah region. Savannah in wave 2, so the gift people were 18.1%. Now, in wave 3, it increased to 26.5%. Sorry, 27.4%. 27.4%. In Eastern region, it was 17.2%. It increased to 32.3%. Ahafo region, it was 17.1%. In wave 3, increased to 27.7%. Greater Accra was 16%. Now, Greater Accra increased to 24%, 24.2%. Bono region was 15%. Bono increased to 35.4% in terms of giving gift to public officials. Now, in Western North region was 15 in wave 2, 15%. Now it increased to 20%. Central region in wave 3 was 15.8%, but in wave 2 it was 15%. So meaning there was an increment of 0.08. Now in Western region in wave 2 it was 14.1%, and wave 3 increased to 25.1%. Now Upper East region 12% in wave 2, increased to 26% in wave 3. If you go to Ashanti region, it was 12.5%. Ashanti increased to 26.4%. If you go to Northern region, it was 11.5%, increased to, that's the Northern region, yes. So Northern region increased to 26.7%, so there was a bit increment there. If you go to Bono region, 10% in wave 2, Bono increased to 34.8%. That's huge. And we have a Northeast region, 10%, and also increased to 26%. OT region was 9.9%, and OT increased to 27%. And water was 8.2% in wave 2, increased to 23.9%. So looks like all the regions increment or increased in terms of giving gifts to public officials. Now let's see forms and frequency of giving gifts. So how often do you give gifts, and even what type of gift do you also give to the people or the public officials. In terms of money, in wave 2, money was a bit. In terms of female and male and maybe both, for both, it was 72.1% in wave 2 and increased to 74% in wave 3. For male, in wave 2, it was 74.9% and increased to 75.4%. For female in wave 2, it was 62%. In wave 3, it increased to 92.2%. So clearly you can see that there was an increment of both male and female giving gifts or bribe to public officials. Now let's look at food and drink and animals. Maybe giving animals, maybe drink like, I don't want to mention any drink, but you can give some goats, chicken, cow, snake and whatever to the public officials. So it was, yes, for both of them it was 8% in wave 2 and decreased to 2.8%. For male and female, male in wave 2 recorded 7% and a reduction to 1.7%. Female was 13% and decreased to 7%. Now, I think the rest are okay. Now, let's look at frequency. How often do you give gifts to this public official? So we have once. For the first time, the person is giving bribe to these public officials. For wave 2, it was 38%. But for wave 3, it jumped to 70.8%, approximately 71%, giving bribe to public officials. Twice, giving bribe 2 times. We have 16% for wave 2 and 16.3% for wave 3. Thrice, giving 3 times. We have 11.3% in wave 2, 7% for wave 4. And also 4 times, we have 4.1% in wave 2, and there's a decrement here of 1.7% wave 3. So the other one are also here. So these are some of the figures reported in their report. Persons who decline to give gifts to public officials. We have other people who refuse to give gifts or bribe to these public officials that we are talking about. If you look at wave 2 by sex, in terms of male and female, male recorded 90% in giving bribe, but female was only 9%, refusing to give bribe. So this tells you that a lot of male refuse to give bribe in wave 2 as compared to female, which is 9%. In wave 3, male recorded 82% and female recorded 17%. So male reduced from 90 to 82, meaning a lot of male decided to give gifts. So the more you increase here, it tells how positive you are of rejecting rejecting to give bribe to public officials, because probably you want an admission for your child and they are asking you to pay something and you reject it. So these are some of the instances. Now let's see by national. Here, I think because of time I can't go through all here, but we have Ashanti, Eastern, and the rest. Here, let me check the time and see. Okay, 46 minutes. So let me use 4 minutes to wrap up. The next 4 minutes you can call. They will put the number there. Then you also call and share with us. We have discussed 2 issues. So in the next 4 minutes you can also call and share with us. So for the national, in terms of region dimensions, let's look at how they also reported. It was 3% for wave 2 and 4% for wave 3. Now if you go to Upper East recorded 0, meaning in the wave 2 there was no record or no one rejected to give bribe. Really? But in wave 3 they recorded 10, meaning 10% of the people they interviewed them says that they rejected giving bribe to public officials. We have Savannah region in wave 2 recorded 2%, but in wave 3 recorded 7%, which is a positive mark for them. In Ashanti region, it recorded 4% for the wave 2 and 7% for wave 3, which also saw an increment of positive here. Oti region recorded 1% for wave 2 in terms of rejecting, but wave 3 saw an increment of 6.8% positive. So that's another good news there for them. We have Northern region 4.2% for the wave 2, and there's an increment to 6.8%. Bono region also saw an increment of 4 It was 4.2% in wave 2, increased to 6.2%. Upper West was 2% in wave 2 and also increased to 6%. Eastern region was 2% and increased to 5%. 1% in Oti region for wave 2 and increased to 4.7% in wave 3. Greater Accra was 3.1% and increased to 4.6% in terms of not giving able to decline or maybe reject giving bribe to public officials. Now let's look at the Ahafo region was 0% in wave 2, meaning probably no one said that they rejected to give bribe. So everybody gave bribe. That's what the report is saying. But in wave 3, it says 3.5% for Ahafo. Western region recorded 3% in wave 2. So 3% people said that we're able to resist, we're able to stand, not to give bribe. But if you look at 2023, Western region reduced from 3 to 2.4. So a lot of people decided to give bribe. So instead of other regions are recording positive by increasing the rate of rejecting bribe giving in wave 3, if you Western region saw a decrement rather, so a lot of people decided to give bribe in Western region. And Central region also in wave 2, it was 3.4%, and there was an decrement also for Central region, which is 1.8%. And Bono region, it was 4%, and now also decreased to 1%. So this down here, people decided to increase the rate at which they give bribe to public officials. These regions. How much do people give as gift? So in terms of bribe, how much do they give? In terms of the 100 Ghana cedis or less, 5 cedis, 10 cedis, 2 cedis, 30 cedis, 50 cedis, to the maximum of 100 Ghana cedis, wave 2 recorded 54%, 54.9%, and wave 3 recorded 54.3%. So there's a decrement of the 100 Ghana cedis. Probably maybe the receivers of the bribe decided not to take 100 Ghana cedis again. They want an increment. Now, if you look at 100 cedis to 500 Ghana cedis, Ghana Statistical Service is reporting that 30% in wave 2, 30.5%, and wave 3 saw 30.1%. So there's an decrement also here, which tells you that they are not interested of receiving 100 Ghana cedis to 500 Ghana cedis. Now let's look at 500 Ghana cedis to 1,000 Ghana cedis or 1,000 Ghana cedis. Wave 2 was 8%. Now it increased to 6.5%. So you can see there's a decrement. So people are not interested of receiving bribe within 500 Ghana cedis to 1,000 Ghana cedis. Now let's look at more than 1,000 Ghana cedis. They are taking 1,005, 2,000, 100,000, 1 billion, millions, trillions, and whatever. You can name them. So it's in wave 2, it was 6.6%, and there was an increment here to 9.1%. So a lot of people want this particular category. They want huge sum of money. Yes, they want money. Now, basically, there's this slide which is really, really interesting. And as I said, it's 51. I think you can also join the conversation now. My producer will put the number there so that you can call. Well, as I'll go through some of the institutions that were able to curb this menace of bribe and corruption within their offices. And some institutions are also climbing up. Now, they are now adopting bribery and corruption as their culture. We'll be looking at that. And don't be surprised, there's one particular public office that every day their name always pop up. We'll be looking at them. But let's look at top 10 most accessed public services. So institutions where a lot of people visit them, they have contact with them. Which institution? Not in a negative way, but each and every day, 24/7, people go to them for services. The first one we have here in wave 2 was public clinic, hospitals, doctors, nurses, often healthcare. So a lot of people are visiting health services and others. For wave 3, it was public clinic, and again, so it recorded 34%. So a lot of people visit hospital and others. For public utility like ECG, Netco, Ghana Water, and others, it was a 26% as the second most assessed public institution. Now it maintained its position again in the wave 3. Now let's look at teachers at public schools, primary, GHS, and others. A lot of people also get in contact with them. They maintain their third position also in wave 3. Now the position number 4, public banks, and also financial institutions. So they also maintain their position 14.6%, 14.5%. MMDA officials like civil servants or public servants also recorded their, or they remain in their position number 5. Now Ghana Statistical Service, so those who did the survey, they were at the 6th position in wave 2, but they dropped to 11th, 13th, 11th. Okay, so they dropped to the 10th position. Ghana Statistical Service dropped to the 10th position, so a lot of people are not having access to them. Now we have motor transport and traffic. That's the MTTD. So they were on the 7th position, recording 7%. But in wave 3, they increased. So they jumped from 7th position to the 6th position. Now we do have newly people, DVLA. Yeah, DVLA also there. DVLA also increased their position to the 7th position in wave 3. Now newly admitted people, they came in first. We have them like electoral, local governance, and also representatives, MMDAs, and public universities are also here. So they are also institutions that people are getting contact with them as part of the top 10 in the wave 2 and wave 3. And those that they also came in for the first time in the wave 3. It was Ghana Police Service. Ghana Police Service has also come in for the first time as top 10 institutions where people get contact with them. And we have the tax, the GRA, Ghana Revenue Authority, they also being part of the list. Now you can also call and share with us. I think it's one thing that for us to talk about the top 10 institutions who officially receives gifts. So we'll be looking at institutions that received gifts. When we are talking about its officials, we'll be looking at those institutions and their people. So you can call now and share with us. The number is on your screen, 055 851 3825, 0558 513 825. You can call and share your comments and others with us this evening here. So I was just saying that we have top institutions whose officials received gifts. Now let's look at institutions that its official received gifts. Now Motor Transport and Traffic Division, MTTD, recorded 51%. So its officials receive gifts most often in wave 2. And also in wave 3, they maintain their position. They maintain their position. So they even increased to 54.6%. So its officials receive gifts or bribe from Ghanaians a lot. Police general duties. So police service also came in as a second institution that its officials receive gifts often, 37% in wave 2 and 37% in wave 3. Caller, good evening. Your name and where you are calling us from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Amobi.
Your name?
My name is Ibrahim.
Ibrahim. All right. Let's hear from you, Ibrahim.
Please. These people they don't have any. So I don't please. So this guy called Afaya Martin. That guy, you know how to read. So those people are no, I mean, I'm not blaming them all. So people they say they will vote for them or they are presenting them. If they come to the constituency, they already ask them questions. So those same people, so those people, they don't have to read or they put, I don't know. So why? The good thing that is going for this country now, they don't want to speak it, but they're always speaking nonsense all the time. Why? Why a farmer can? What, is it drug or I mean, is he taking some bad drug?
No, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Ah, no. A farmer can. If you are using somebody, one of that stupid guys is.
Right. So thank you for calling. I think he's not taking any drug. He has his right to also critique and also share his opinion concerning any national agenda. So you must be guided whenever we have a chance to also share our views and others. Yeah. So Avion is not on any whatsoever. He's not on any other something like that. So please let's be guided of how we also react to some situations. If he failed to do the right thing, it doesn't mean that he must also come and do something about it. He has the right to share his opinion on any other stuff. So you can also call now and be with us. The number is still on your screen. We have the Goldbod, of which we said that Goldbod is not incurring losses, but it's rather it was Bank of Ghana. So we have debunked such allegations or claims. At the same time, we are also on the Ghana Statistical Service. They have reports on bribery and corruption. But let me do this birthday, and if you can also call us after the birthday. So let me quickly see the birthday message here. The person used to watch us each and every day. If I don't do this birthday, I will be dead by the close of today. So let me do the birthday. Okay, so before we do this birthday, let me just pick this caller. Caller, good evening, your name and where you are calling us from.
My name is Isaac. I'm calling from East Legon.
All right, Isaac, let's hear from you.
Yes, my brother. I think that I've listening to all that you said, and I think that what we have to tell, some of us have to tell the Sami Jamfi and his the company is leading now, Goldbod, and that they should not deviate. They should concentrate and do what they are doing to help Ghana, because there are people, some people in this country made up their mind that they'll throw ducks into Ghanaians' eyes. They are forgetting that this time around there is social media and people can verify. I mean, in seconds. They are forgotten. They are still using that their, old age level. I mean, the way they think those days, thinking that some few stations that they've been buying to be saying things to us anyhow. They can use that this moment. This time it's not like that. In fact, even illiterate can easily access information on social media, and that is what these minorities MPP must be looking at. But you see, when you are I mean, my brother, one of my brother used to say that when you are full, you are full. There's nothing that can change you. You understand? I'm using this word for a quote. I'm just quoting. You understand? So please, NDC people should concentrate and do what they can do to help us at the nation, because what we need now is not distractions. We need jobs, as NDC government are trying to create some jobs. This road sector, everywhere, youth have been employed here and there. We are seeing it. The youth program that we are seeing. You see, we cannot use only less than 2 years to achieve all that they are saying, as if that NDC have come to power for 10 years or maybe even their 8 years that they came to spend. That is something that they must have. in their sport. So please, the youth of today and people who want meaningful to themselves, please stop listening to these distractors. MPP, that is what they want to do because they know that there is nothing they can do now to save themselves. The good thing that NDC government, John Mama, is doing is putting them off. They know that they will stay opposition for a number of years if they don't throw some of these taxes, try to play some of this role. Look, there are journalists. I don't. Maybe if I can mention the station, or maybe if you don't want it that way, there are some journalists in this country. They are pretending. They are pretending, saying to people that, or saying on their TV stations that since NDC have come to power, they see nothing. They cannot see any development that is going on, and they don't even know what NDC is doing. For them to be telling Ghanaians that they are establishing economy, and that everything they are doing is just a camouflage. How can you be saying something like this when you know that your party that you are supporting have been in power for 8 years and we see nothing meaningful? We all suffer in this country, even this free education that they talk about. Masa, me, my 2 children
Thank
were
you,
in the
thank you,
going
thank
to
you,
school.
Kola. Thank you, Kola. Thank you, Kola. I was so grateful. Next week you can also talk. That's an insightful. But let me do this birthday quickly, then we can wrap up for today. So it says that happy birthday to Martin Nana Jima. May the year ahead bring you love, success, and countless wonderful moments from the entire Nyakon family and your caring mother, Evelyn Nyakon. Happy birthday, Martin Nana Jima. May God richly bless you and become who you want to be. So this is how we end the Behind the Evidence for today. There will be a repeat on Thursday, 5 p.m. here on Bullet TV. Next week we'll be meeting. Thanks to my producer Ima for putting everything together for tonight. And also thank you for also watching us, sharing your comments, and also for calling through. My name is Maxwell Mensah. See you next week.